I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. During his life, Jesus invited St. James to be fisher of men. And St. James, not knowing what this meant or implied, but attracted by Jesus' charisma and personality, accepted, teaching us all the promptness to respond to the Lord even when he asks us to abandon human certainties. Following Jesus, St. James learned to forgive, serve, and love everyone. He witnessed all the miracles. He was one of Jesus' three favorite disciples, along with his brother John and Peter. With them, he witnessed the transfiguration of Christ, experienced the glory of Jesus speaking with Elijah and Moses, and saw how Jesus' divine glory was revealed. He experienced the prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane. He witnesses Jesus' suffering and humiliation, and how the Son of God humbled himself and obeyed even unto death. One day, as they passed through a village, they refused to welcome them, and James asked Jesus, "Call down fire from heaven and burn them all up." Jesus called him for his revengeful spirit and reminded him that he had not come to harm anyone, but to save as many as possible. Another day, the mother of James asked Jesus to place one of them at the right hand and the other at the left hand of the Father when he was in glory. Jesus told her that they would die for him, but that their place in heaven was not decided by him, but by the Father who is in heaven. These two examples show that St. James was not a saint from the beginning, but that his conversion came to him little by little. After the ascension of Jesus, St. James went to preach in what is now Spain. He reached what the Romans called Finisterrae, the end of the earth, present day Galicia. On his journey, he gained very few followers. When he stood on the banks of the Ebro River, sad and dejected, the Virgin Mary, who was alive in Jerusalem, appeared to him on a pillar, encouraged him, and asked him to build a church there in her honor. This marked the beginning of a Marian devotion that has remained strong throughout the centuries. That small chapel, built by St. James and his seven followers on the exact spot of the apparition, is today the Basilica of El Pilar, an important center of pilgrimage in Zaragoza. The Virgin added that thanks to his efforts, the greatest evangelization of the world would come from there. And so it did. From there came the evangelization of Spain and later that of all America, considered the New World. Today, pilgrimage to the burial place of St. James the Apostle in Compostela are known as the Way of St. James, forming a network of routes that crisscross all of Europe. There are a total of 32 routes covering some 80,000 kilometers that traverse Europe's main communication routes to reach Santiago de Compostela. The importance of the Way of St. James throughout the world is indisputable because it is a symbol of fraternity among people and the true backbone of Europe's first common conscience. It was faith in God, taught by the Apostle St. James, that has encouraged pilgrims to walk these paths together with all kinds of people, regardless of their differences and interests. They do so seeking to establish a relationship founded on tolerance, respect for others, freedom, and solidarity, as Jesus Christ, who is God, requested, and with God, we always win.